Okay, Bill Hoy. What in the world's going on? One YouTube channel. Please. Let's try to start seeing if we can start some kind of a conference or something. I'm obviously pretty much, if you watch any of my videos, you know I'm from America. I'm from the East Coast, New Jersey, Ocean County, New Jersey, in that area for now. But let's try to get something started. Let's try to get something started, folks. Let's try to get our own conference started or something, man. You know, let's try to get our own conference started. We don't, you know, these waiting for all these other guys to do all this work in all these conferences, man. We got to get out there and start doing some work, folks. Come on, you know, let's do our own work. You know, let's take, and once again, you know, all this information's out there. Let's start presenting it to people. Let's start getting out there and presenting this stuff to people. I'm just trying to plead with people. If you're watching this video, let's start. You know, let's try to get our own conference together. Why do we have to wait for all these other researchers that are doing all this work to do these conferences? You know, look, folks. I mean, I do this work not because, you know, this is not entertaining for me, folks. I'm not entertained by this stuff. This isn't fucking entertainment. I hate this shit. This stuff makes me sick. Makes me sick. Makes me sick to think that all we have to do is align ourselves with natural law. That doesn't mean everything's going to be great. Just because you're aligned with natural law and your soul is healing doesn't mean that, you know, you might not suffer some discomfort or even much more than that in the physical realm, in the physical body. We got to do what's right now. We got to go through the suffering so our children, folks, our children can have their own can exert their free will and not have to be concerned if someone's going to try to engage in violence against them for that. And one of those would be, you know, that would be, you know, one of the the individuals that would be engaging in the violence against them for using their free will would be these death cult members, the military, the death cult that I was a part of. The death cult that I was a part of. And the police, these enforcers, they're cults. They're cults. Really, these cults. So why am I going over this? Why am I going over this? Because I just want to stick it to the military? First thing, I'm not sticking it to anybody, bud. The military, the U.S. military is going strong. So are all other militaries. U.S. military is going strong. Doesn't matter what I say. They ain't going to stop it. Ain't going to stop nothing. You think people from the military are listening to this and going, oh my God, this is terrible. He's saying mean things about us. They don't care. They could care less. They're laughing their asses off watching this. Laughing their asses off. I don't harbor any resentment with the military because of my general discharge for drug use. I resent the military because it's a death cult and it's going to lead our human species into extinction. I resent this death cult because of what it's doing. The U.S. military, I'm from America, I'll speak for the U.S. military, all militaries though, but the U.S. military, what it's doing is guaranteeing that my children are going to have no future. That's why I resent it, pal. I resent it because I'm mad about my discharge, or let's see. I'm going to talk about this, but it's not because, you know, some guy screwed me over and stuff like that. You know what, man? Look, how can I best say this? You know, I screwed a lot of people over myself. I did a lot of dirty things to people while I was in the death cult as well. So I'm not trying to paint myself as some innocent person. You know, I recognize my involvement in my demise in the military, but that's not what this is about. You know, I wasn't the only guy using these drugs. Many other guys were using, mostly marijuana and, cannabis. But, many of them were cozy with the chain of command, and, they knew when, surprise drug tests were coming. I was hit with a surprise drug test, and the two other guys, they knew it was coming. They knew it was coming. They never told me. I'm pretty sure they were told not to tell me. For some reason, they really wanted me, I guess, because that's just the way the military is. They like to put people, there's many guys in the military that like to put people through pain because they're in pain themselves. Once again, I'm not ashamed of my discharge, folks. Not ashamed. Proud of it. I wear it like a badge of honor. I do this also because I just don't want people to join this death cult. I don't want people to join this military, this death cult. I don't want people to do this. I do this because I want people to know the truth about satanic death cults. Once again, definition of a cult, one big part of that definition, biggest part that stands out to me, is the organization that espouses beliefs that are dangerous and also harms people that are not a member of it. This is a death cult, folks. People tend to view it, the regular military, as a 9-to-5 job, and in many ways it is. In many ways it is. In many ways it is. But unfortunately, it's a job where every member of the military is either indirectly or directly involved and or supporting murder and destruction of our life support systems on this planet. It's not a job I want for myself or anybody else. But, as long as our military can go over to these other countries and take their oil, and everybody's got plenty of oil so they can drive around and live their lives of leisure and drive around running the hamster wheel, driving themselves stir crazy, so people happy because these cruise ships have plenty of oil to feed these cruise ships, big giant ocean pigs sucking down fuel, polluting the entire ocean. But people don't care. People don't care. And this is a big one. Good time here, because I really want to talk about this. And this is, going back to what I was talking about a little bit about, these people don't care. Many former military or active military people would say that I was probably all dicked up or ate up. Once again, that's that jargon. That's that language that we all speak. That's that cultish same language, that sameness. Ate up. I'm pretty sure that's what it was. Ate up or all dicked up, stuff like that. And that basically means someone who can't hack it, someone who's not showing up for formations, and when they're showing up, their uniform's all fucked up, looking like they just got out of bed with it on, or stuff like that. Not holding their own on road marches, lousy PT scores, stuff like that. And I can tell you, folks, first thing, even if I was, that's not even the point of these videos. The point of these videos is not for me to go inside the box and try to pick it apart and be resentful about things inside the box. This is outside the box. I'm going with this. This is outside the box, which is, it's a death cult. And however, I was always a top PT performer. I was an average road marcher. I held my own on road marches. I was in the infantry once again. If if you're only just watching this video and you haven't seen the other ones. And yes, it is true that the physical training in the Army, especially the infantry, does get a person in good shape. And that's a positive. It's hard to distinguish the positives from the negative. That's another reason why people are easily brainwashed into this. But you see, there's always a hidden agenda, a culted agenda hidden in these cults. And the Army is not necessarily trying to get us into shape to enhance our health and well-being. That's not the idea. And it is also true that to be effective in a battle situation, you've got to be in good physical shape. That is true. And your level of physical strength and ability and stamina could be the difference between life and death, your life and death. So being in shape is crucial, but there's another purpose behind the physical training in the military, and that's to break you down. They want you, see, the Army convinces its soldiers that to push oneself to the brink of almost death, that builds character. And it does. To push yourself hard when you're working out does build character. It does build character. But once again, they're pushing you to the point of exhaustion, especially in basic training. They will push us to the point of exhaustion, get us super tired, and then of course I talked about that in my other videos where they would either not give us a lot of sleep, interrupt our sleep, hold us back from going on sleep by putting us through painful. Paul Fussell talked about it in his book Wartime. He called it chicken shit, where the drill sergeants, or in the regular Army, the what do you call them? The officers would mess. Officers and sergeants would mess with guys. They call it chicken shit. Messing with us, just psychologically tormenting us is basically what chicken shit is, and that's what a lot of it was, and that's what they would do, and that's what they would want to break us down, make us weak, interrupt our sleep, not give us much rest, and that was how you indoctrinate somebody. That's how you put somebody through mind control. That's a lot of the mind control things. Look up MK Ultra. Look up MK Ultra and the mind control experiments they were doing in that. A lot like what the military uses. And I'll tell you, folks, they won't go this deep, but they'll almost pretty much, you ask any military recruiter, they'll come right out and pretty much kind of tell you this stuff. They'll put a positive spin to it, but they'll come right out and tell you this. Folks, this stuff, it's right in our faces. I'm not telling any secrets. I'm just coming out and just trying to make people realize that these cults are evil. They're evil, and it's good. And we're going to end up destroying our entire world, and we're going to do it to ourselves. It's going to be the order followers and the supporters of them, and we're all going down on this shit. Just because I know this stuff now doesn't mean, okay, I know this stuff, let me go hide away and let me just watch, all these other researchers, for listen to their shows for entertainment. Nah, man. I'm going down on this ship too, man. I remember when I first started waking up and I was like, wow, look at all these idiots out here. And then I was just like, wait a second here. As I started becoming more informed, I was like, wait a second. These idiots are going to bring all of us down. Let me tell you something. The dummies and the smarties, we're all going down on this ship together. That's why I'm trying to plead to people. Let's try to start our own conference or something, man. Don't wait for, why are we waiting for orders from other people? Let's start our own conference, man. Once again, folks, going back to what I was talking about, it's good to work out, it's good to push yourself, but it's really not good to push yourself to the brink of death. That's a little ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Unless you're in a situation where you got no choice. And that's why you get yourself into good shape, because so you're able to handle situations like that. And once again, talking about the terror tactics and all that, and I'm just going to continue on. I'm probably going to do about 30 videos about this, folks. So I'm just going to keep hammering away at this, because this is important. So Till next video.